So this brings us to another interesting situation that we talked about once, but ended up not doing it. But we have several being like maybe 5, 6 different child ASINs under a parent, according to a variation theme of, I think it was at the time, it was color and size. So what we wanted to do was, and they had, every single one of those variations had a good number of reviews. So what we wanted to do was create another listing, brand new, as a kit, not as a single item, as a kit, and then create a parent, and then bring one of those established listings under it as a single. So now you have a single and you have a kit under this parent.
With
but
reviews.
Of course, the variation theme would be totally different. So tell us about how to handle this.
Well, it's very hard to remove one child from the parent variation. So you pretty much have to delete that child and then wait 24 hours and then see if you can attach it to the new parent. But, you know, these are all very complicated issues, and it depends, again, on your contribution level. You might think that you have control over all 10 of your child ASINs, and it turns out that 7 of them, Amazon Retail had a hand in. So that can get really complicated fast too. And it does take a lot of time, but typically I use the flat files to avoid the whole seller performance fiasco that is just kind of a frustrating process. And if I can't, then, you know, I've done everything I could, and now I involve seller performance.
Yeah, I mean, seller performance or seller support?
So, well, it's one or the other. They kind of changed their name and call themselves seller performance now, but yeah, seller support, seller central.
Now there is one other approach, which is to go to the brand registry support.
Mm-hmm.
When do you know which one is the best one to go to?
Typically, I, as a consultant or an account manager, don't have direct access to the brand registry account, although I can be, you know, provided user permissions or a registered agent of the brand. So if you have that, you can go that way. If you don't, you still have to go through Seller Central, Seller Performance, and say, until they finally recognize it as a brand registry issue, and then they send it over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, some of the things are, I mean, what you mentioned right at the beginning, and it comes up over and over. What is your contribution level, right? So if you are the brand owner and you know for a fact that you created this listing yourself through Seller Central and it's under your brand, then obviously that's a much easier situation, right?
Yes. Now, one of my projects recently was the fact that a bestseller out of a variation, and it had never been sold on Vendor Central. It had never been sold on the website. It never been sold anywhere except Amazon as listed by the brand owner. And yet Amazon Retail got a hand in it. I don't know how, I don't know why. There was really, it wasn't like a high seller, so there was no reason for Amazon to get involved, but they did. And so it made creating a different parent-child variation set nearly impossible. It actually took months and involvement with Launchpad. So Launchpad very graciously helped out there and contacted Amazon Retail on our behalf. And that was the only way it got fixed.
The Launchpad is a program that Amazon offers for brands who are just looking to be selling on Amazon exclusively, right?
They did, and they just shut it down not too long ago. So I don't know whether they're going to revamp it, but I have a feeling they're probably getting rid of it.
I had a
But
guest a while ago who was a great fan of Launchpad.
it was great. It was fantastic. Yeah. For a lot of small brands, it was a great program.
I wonder if it's like the like Vendor Central where they purged a lot of vendors
Yep.
because it wasn't making enough money. So maybe they also shut down Launchpad because it wasn't making much money.
I think that's probably true because for a while they were charging 5% to new, for the option of getting into the program. And then eventually it took a long time, but they dropped that and then very quickly shut the program. So otherwise it would have been great. It was great there for a while without the 5% extra.
Yeah, yeah.